I'm sorry, you're not going to like what I have to say, but I find that the facts have not changed from the last public hearing that we had to today. Some actions have been taken, some shameful but not effective, others good, as conversations that should have taken years, and I capitalize years ago, when automation was first agreed to as part of the current labor agreement. I commend Port staff, and particularly Major Gassetti's office and staff, for all the work that has been taking place behind the scenes to work this out. While we as a board are not a part of this discussion, I am glad that all the parties are at least
If this is too disruptive, we will discontinue the meeting and take a break until everybody can calm down. We will not reach a consensus until there is order in the hearing room.
Okay. I am glad all the parties are at least attempting to come to an agreement to formulate a plan for how to integrate automation. I urge ILWU leadership to lead LEAD and actually do the right thing for its membership by working on a plan to integrate automation. If, as automation is seen by ILWU as a job killer, I suggest next time you get an agreement and you recommend to membership to approve it, tell them all the facts, not just the gains. Because this discussion today on automation and whether it goes through is not a decision of this board, but rather something that your leadership negotiated long ago. It is too bad that you have not taken the time to have started to deal with it sooner. I am glad that you are now having this discussion. You have not, as a leadership, led. You ignored what you agreed to. If anyone has lied by omission or by not explaining to membership, it is not this board who agreed to automation. It was ILWU years ago. In exchange for that, and I'm not saying it was a bad contract, you received the wonderful benefits you have today. That, however, is not part of what we are voting on today. That fact does not change with all this name calling. If you really want to help your membership, leadership needs to step up and do the right thing. Inform your membership and then work on a solution. I urge you to become a part of the solution and start working on a solution that will integrate the labor force with the automation that is coming in many forms. I will vote to deny the appeal, and I find that Executive Director Soroka issued the CDP in compliance with Port Master Plan and the California Coastal Act, and adopt the findings and facts contained in the public hearing staff report. That said, the issues and concerns that the labor force and public officials and the community have brought up, stripped of rhetoric, do need to be addressed. And I concur with my fellow commissioners on a blue ribbon, on a group, on finding a solution. No one here denies what ILWU brings to the table. No one denies the potential effects that automation will have. I urge labor and industry to come together to negotiate an agreement on how to integrate automation, a just transition. I am proud to serve my community. I look forward to the day that the leadership of ILWU will also serve their membership. President Ray and Vice President Herrera, you did not once address how you and prior leadership negotiated automation and ratified it. You both ignore and pretend that the issue is ours. I urge you to come to the table.
Order in the hearing room, order. Please take your seats. Those broaching the front lines will be impacted by the Sergeant at Arms. Please have a seat. Sit down. Sit down.
Right, folks,
sit down.
Please have a seat. We cannot continue the meeting if you continue to disrupt the meeting. Please return to your seats. Let's give everybody the opportunity to present their speeches, please. Thank you.
Please return to your seats. We cannot continue until you return to your seats.
Please take your seats so that we can continue the deliberation.
Sit down. Please sit down.
While we respect and appreciate everyone's free speech right to express your opinions, we do ask that everybody sit down in an orderly fashion.
If you don't sit down, we can't continue. Please sit down.
I am done except for one remark. There are some of you in the audience who have known me for years. So for the record, I always vote with my conscience. I stand by my vote. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you all for your input, for all of the testimony that has been received today. Thank you, staff, for your diligent work in answering the questions and concerns of the community of this Board of Harbor Commissioners, who are all appointed here by the City of Los Angeles for the benefit of the Tidelands Trust, for the people of California. Commissioner Middleton, your concerns are well taken. I think we've been discussing since January, truly, a blue ribbon commission on automation. Agreed. I think everyone on this board is in agreement on that. What are the impacts? Does it actually even work? Is it a good investment? This is part of a policy standpoint that has been in motion for more than 10 years, far before any of us were sitting up here on this dais. Revisiting policy is always an important thing to do as a body that governs and manages lands. I myself am certainly curious to see what is the future of cargo volumes, of population growth, of the needs for longshore labor here at the Port of Los Angeles and across the San Pedro Bay. What do the competitive factors really do to affect us moving forward? The widening of canals, the dredging of other East Coast ports and Gulf Coast ports, those are all things that absolutely need to be studied. Across the city of Los Angeles, we have been committed to doing that, and we here in the Harbor Commission have been discussing that since January, since before you were appointed to the Commission. The scope of this CDP vote, however, is whether or not this coastal development permit complies with the Port Master Plan and the California Coastal Act. As was said before, and I want to make sure that people understand, when we note that APM terminals can automate, regardless of what happens here today, regardless of whether we vote to appeal or deny, it's not out of insubordination, it's not out of a refusal to accept this outcome, and it's not out of a defiance of the rights granted to them in their permit. It's something that's fully within their rights of their permit. It's the manner in which they will implement it that concerns the port today in large part. This vote is about fencing and battery charging stations in order to implement electrified automated equipment. The wheels of automation, as I mentioned, began more than 10 years ago before any of us were sitting here. We are committed to having all of the studies, to commissioning people from all sectors of the harbor community and of the port economy to weigh in and give input on this. However, that's not a time for today. That's as we review the Port Master Plan, as we review what our policies are, as we review what the future really needs to be in our decision-making process. It's critically important. However, today we have a Port Master Plan that has already been approved. It has already been certified by the California Coastal Commission. It has already been granted as our authority under the California Tidelands Trust. And so our question here today is narrow, whether or not this Level 1 CDP complies with the Port Master Plan and the Coastal Act. We have found from all of the evidence that has been submitted by all of the testimony that the facts have not significantly changed. I believe that what I've heard from the commissioners so far indicate that no one has changed their vote from the last time around. If someone would like to make a motion to end deliberation and move to a roll call vote, I would like to accept that motion at this time.
I so move.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Roll call vote.
Wait. All those in favor of sustaining the appeal, approving the appeal brought by the ILWU and thereby deny the issuance of the Coastal Development Permit 1825 issued to APM Terminal, please respond by saying yes when your name is called. If you wish to vote to deny the appeal and thereby approve the issuance of CDP 1825 to APM Terminals, please respond by saying no when your name is called. And to be clear, a yes vote means rejecting the CDP. A no vote means approving the CDP. Please continue with the roll call vote.
Commissioner Middleton.
I vote to sustain the appeal, yes.
Commissioner Moreno Linares.
I vote to deny the appeal. No.
Commissioner Renwick.
No.
Commissioner Perosi.
Yes.
President Lee.
No. The commission has decided 3-2 to deny the appeal. This concludes this hearing. Thank you all for your attendance today.